Celtic Reforestation has been around. This is our 25th season. Our main force on the ground is primarily young workers. They would be between the ages of 18 to about 25 or 26. We have a new employee training checklist, which contains all the elements that we want our foreman to pass on to our new workers.
And that covers, company policies, so we would read through the company policies. And most of that is on the safety aspect and just get them up to speed on all the safety.
There's a lot about just general safety, what we are expected to do. He went over what happens if an accident happens. He went over environmental safety, like cleaning up the boxes, and we have plastic wrappers on our bundles on how important it is to clean those up and not leaving our garbage. He went over the importance of just keeping yourself healthy on the block, eating properly, drinking enough liquids, keeping your electrolytes up.
Within that first day, they get a lot of real base level information, and then we build on that from going forward on a day-to-day basis in meetings that they'll have with their foremen and supervisors. We have a weekly tailgate session. So once a week they have a formal health and safety meeting, and they will either do it at the start of the shift or at the end of the shift. And it's a formal process, again, with a checklist that we want the crew to talk about. We've tried to make it easy for all our supervisory people to document their when they're talking to people about health and safety, when they're doing training, when they're issuing warnings, or they're giving education to different workers. So we've developed a number of very simple forms that primarily use checklists, so that the foreman doesn't have to get into writing a lot of prose, and they can just check to say that things are done. When they need to document more, they do if they're talking about something specific. We have a check at the office to make sure that every employee's file is looked at to make sure that they've had the training. And if that file was missing, then we would send something out to the foreman, and that we would make sure that that training got done, so everyone gets the same training. The biggest hazard we have out here, and it's bigger than all the other hazards put together, is exposure to motor vehicle accidents. So we've developed a completely separate driver training program that's separate from our health and safety program. And everyone that drives for us is required to go through this program, write an exam on it, and achieve a certain mark before they get behind the wheel of the vehicle.
These days I don't drive that often. I usually just sit beside my drivers and observe their driving, just so they get more comfortable, and so we get more experienced drivers in the company that have been under supervision and not just handed the keys.
You really have to concentrate on attitudes. You really got to work at getting people to be responsible for their own safety.
The most common injury out here come from the actual planting, and so you really have to give them the proper technique. Like the most common injury you'll see out here is repetitive strain injury, and it will most likely come in the first couple weeks.
If you have any aches or pains, Jordan will tell you how to change your technique to eliminate them. Kind of, like I was starting to get a sore elbow in my hand from getting the hole in and wrenching it back. And he told me to switch hands. He says, it's early enough in your season that you can switch hands and still learn how to do it. So then I'd work 3 days with my right hand, and then 1 day with my left. Now it's fine.
We've been seeing our injuries decline on a year-by-year basis. Our workforce is getting a lot of work days, and we just don't have any serious injuries.